We're going straight to Hamburg now, where King Charles has just arrived at Hamburg station there. This is his first state visit with the Queen Consort. And he's just arrived at Hamburg station, as I said, by train, where we are expecting him to lay flowers at the Kindertransport Memorial. This is the final day of the King's visit to Germany, and he is going to Hamburg. As I said, they've got a full day. They're going to lay flowers.
Thank you.
Can we see the King? I think you can just see him. It's a bit dark there, isn't it? Because they're right up against that light. But yeah, the King arriving in Hamburg. So as I was saying, they are going to... There he is, King Charles. There he is. So a big cheer for King Charles and the Queen Consort. I think I spotted her too there. Let's bring in Laura Bundop, our royal correspondent. Laura, a big cheer for him, but it is a pertinent trip. Well, a pertinent final day, isn't it? This trip, specifically to the city of Hamburg.
That's right. This is day 3 of this state visit, the first state visit of the new reign. The King arriving at Hamburg station. He caught the train from Berlin this morning, accompanied by the German president and the president's wife. The King and the Queen Consort are here in Hamburg for a somber start to the day. They will be visiting the Kindertransport Memorial at Hamburg station. The King very much part of this memorial, which marks the efforts to save the lives of 10,000 children from Nazism. He referenced it in his speech to the Bundestag yesterday. He will go to the memorial here in Hamburg and then make his way to another memorial where we are, the Church of St Nikolai. This church is a memorial itself. The body of the church is a complete ruin now, but it stands as a reminder and a symbol of warning against war. And if the King was talking about the importance of reconciliation after World War II yesterday, then perhaps Hamburg is the most symbolic place he could come to. This summer will be the 80th anniversary of Hamburg's bombings. You can see the King now coming out of the train station, umbrellas in hand, because it is absolutely pouring with rain here in Hamburg. He will need that umbrella. He's actually heading out onto the water at the port a little later on. It will be a rather wet time there. It was back in July 1943 when the Allies, over the space of just 8 days, dropped 9,000 tons of bombs on the city here. It created a firestorm and killed 37,000 civilians. It was the heaviest assault in the history of aerial warfare, and they will, after leaving the station, be coming to mark that moment in what we're told will be a sombre moment of reflection. There will be wreath laying here at St Nikolai Church, the memorial, which, as I said, says it is now a symbol of warning against the horrors of war.
Okay, Laura, thank you so much. What have they been doing so far? They were originally meant to go to Paris, obviously. That leg of the tour was cancelled. What have they done in the first 2 days of their trip?
That's right. Let's pause, perhaps just follow this picture. This is the memorial there. You can see it quite clearly outside the station. As I say, this is a memorial to the Kindertransport. That's something the King has been closely involved with over the years, and it marks the efforts to save the lives of 10,000 children from the Nazis when they were brought to the UK during the war. Can't really make him out amid that sea of umbrellas there. But this trip, this first state visit of a new reign, has been a very significant moment for the King. You're right, it was supposed to start in France, but those political protests meant that leg has been postponed. And so it was Germany given the honour of hosting the King. And Germany has pulled out all the stops right from the moment the King entered German airspace, where military jets escorted his his plane into Berlin. There was the grand ceremonial welcome at Brandenburg Gate. He was the first visiting head of state to be given the big welcome at the gate before that white tie state banquet on Wednesday evening. And yesterday, for the first time as monarch, the king addressed the Bundestag, the first British monarch to do so, in a speech that was very well received here. He spoke with great warmth and affection. It was all about trying to restore relations after Brexit, and he spoke about the historic alliances between Britain and Germany, the importance, the significance of Anglo-German relations. I mean, much of that speech given in German, and the significance of that certainly not lost on the politicians there. The speech itself lasted 23 minutes, but there was a 2-minute standing ovation after it for the king. And the other engagements we've seen him and the Queen Consort involved in over the last 2 days, very much in reflecting the common interest, the shared values of both Germany and England, and the interests of the couple themselves. The king has attended a number of environmental engagements. The Queen Consort yesterday was at the opera in Berlin. This afternoon in Hamburg, she will meet the illustrator of the Gruffalo at a local school, where there will be an art and a reading session. The king will be finding out more about the green efforts here in harbour as he heads to the port to learn about green energy, hydrogen storage as well, something we know is close to his heart. But before all that, as I say, it is a much more sombre start to the day here as he visits these memorials, the Kindertransport Memorial we see him at now, and then he'll be making his way to this church, St Nikolai Church, right in the centre of Hamburg. Nothing is left of the church, pretty much, apart from this huge spire. And the reason the spire, which was at one point the tallest in the world, survives is because it was used as a landmark for the Allied fleet. They used it as a landmark to know where to drop their bombs, which resulted, as I was saying, in the deaths of 37,000 civilians. It was a huge turning point in the Allied methods in the Second World War. But we have the first part of this engagement here at Hamburg Station at the Kindertransport Memorial there.
Okay, Laura, thank you so much. Laura there in a rainy Hamburg. Such a shame, isn't it? Difficult to see with all those brollies out. But the latest there from the King and Queen Consort's trip to Germany.